We said we're looking at the LAN topology under IGCSE ICT. We're looking at the LAN topology. The word topology, what does it mean? It means arrangement, right? The different arrangement. You can have a circular arrangement, horizontal arrangement, triangular arrangement, star arrangement. So topology just means arranging the computer, how you arrange your computer in the office. Okay, every network, you know, network is an interconnection of computers, printers, and all the devices in the office with the internet capability, the modem, the antenna, and all of these things. Okay, so the arrangement of the workstations, which are called the clients, the workstations, and the workstation computer, the arrangement in the office, in line with the server. Okay, this arrangement is called topology. So when we're talking about topology, we're talking about the arrangements of our workstations or our clients. Okay, the clients are the workstation. They're usually the computers, the printers and the computers in the office. So how you arrange them, the arrangement is called topology. Now, since we already know topology, now let's take a look at the common types of topology, the common arrangement we do in office when we're in the our office environment. The first one is the bus topology. The first one is the bus topology, or what we call the bus network. The second one is the ring network, and the third one is the hybrid. There's also star network. You can see we have the star, we have the hybrid. Okay. Did you share? Sorry, just a moment. Okay, so we say we have the different network topology. We say the first one is the bus topology, the second one is the ring one, the ring arrangement in the office. We arrange our servers, our computers, our printers in a circular manner. It's called the ring network. We have the third one, which is the star network, in which we arrange all our computers, our workstations, our clients, our servers, all of them in a ring manner. And then the fourth one is the hybrid network, where you have hybrid is combinations of combine two or more of the basic topology. Could be 2 star connected together, or 3 star connected together, or 2 bus connected together. So that's what we refer. Now let's take a look at them one after the other more extensively. The first one is the bus network. Now in this type of network, when you have a bus network, you use what we call the long central cable, like this one, this long central cable. This long central cable is where every other computer is being connected to. Every other computer or workstation terminates at this long central cable. Is that okay? It's tapping its own connectivity from this long central cable. So whenever we have this type of arrangement in the office, we call it the bus network or the bus topology. So either we call it the bus network or we call it the bus topology, right? And it's used to connect all the computers together in the office, using a long central cable to connect all the computers in the office. Each computer has its own short cable, okay, that links to this central one. Each computer, you can see, has its own small short cable that links to the central cable. This computer, this single computer has a short cable that links to this long central one. So the server, for example, if this is the server, it also has its own short cable that links to the central. So this type of arrangement that looks like everybody is along a straight line is called the bus topology, or what we call the bus network. Is that okay? So a bus network is very cheap to install. That's why a lot of people use this. But it has its own disadvantage, which we're going to talk about. Okay, it's very cheap to install. Just one long cable you need, and then you begin to connect every other computer to that central long cable. Is that okay? However, its disadvantages are also mind-boggling. So, before we talk about the disadvantage, let's catch on the advantages. We say it can be quite slow. That's one of the disadvantages, because everyone is waiting. Like you are in a queue. Okay, whatever is coming, whatever routing protocol that is coming, you're in a queue, you just have to wait. Like you wait for your turn. You wait for your turn, okay? So this makes it a bit cumbersome because it's slow and you have to wait, computer lags, computer slow. So all of these characterizations makes it a bit not the best choice in networking and office area. Is that okay? This kind of topology is not usually the best choice, but it's easy and it's cheap to run. So if you are a small company that don't have a lot of computers or you don't have a lot of floors, you just have one floor, I think bus topology is quite manageable for you. Okay. Okay, so that's that. And then we say we stop working if there's a break in the central cable. Once there's a, like, let's say there's a break, the wire, there's something, maybe there are rodettes in your office, the rodette cuts your wire, and then every other computer, if it cuts it, the whole thing will stop to work. It's no longer like go to work. So this is another disadvantage. So when anything happens to the long central cable, all the system will shut down, like nothing will work, no network, there will be no network in the office. So you rectify the problem, or maybe you buy another long cable to replace this long central cable. So you can see the problem of slowness, the problem of break in networking, if anything happens to the long central cable. So these two disadvantages makes it not the best choice in networking and office area. Now let's go to the second one, which is ring network or ring topology. In the ring network or ring topology, each computers they connected to a loop. Computers are connected to a loop of cable. The cable is made to be round. It now forms a loop. You know, something if it's round or it's rectangular form, you can call it a loop. So the cables are made, it's no longer a long one. You wound it round like a loop of cable to form a ring. That's why we call it the ring network. The cable is made to form a ring, looks circular. Cable has been made circular to form a ring, and as such, it becomes something outrightly different from what you had previously. Right? Now, if you we say the ring, if you took a bus network and connected to the end of the bus cable together, you will have a ring. Okay, to get a ring is just to this wire, you made it round. That's it. That's the point. You made this wire round and you get a ring. Now a ring network can cope with a break in the in the ring cable. Since all the computers are still joined together, it's now a bus. So if anyone cuts, if there's a break here, it will still work. Why? Because if there's a break, it will not look like a bus network. If there's a break, it looks like a bus network. But unlike this one, if there's a break here, it's like you broke the network. But this one, if there's a break, it's like it becomes like a bus network, so it will still work. Is that okay? So the ring topology has an advantage over the bus topology. Now let's go to the star. Okay, let's go. The star, I think the star is very outstanding because every of the computer goes to the hub or switch, straight directly to the switch. So even if the small cable of any computer has problem, it does not affect the rest. I think this is good. Now this type of network, every computer is connected to the central device, which is the switch. Okay, the central device, which is the switch, and the device passes the message between the computers. So whatever message you are sending, let's say this computer A, you're sending message to computer D. Let's say this computer D, you have to send the message to the switch, the central device, the switch. The switch will locate computer D with the switchy methodology and send the message to this computer. Okay? The switch will select the computer, the destination that is going to go, and will forward your message to this computer. So this one is good because it has a central device. But in the case, not the only switch we use here. We have three devices we normally use in this place. The first one is the hub, but the hub is cheaper, although it's cheaper, but it's slower. So the hub is no longer the best choice to be used for the star topology. The hub is no longer the best choice. Although it's cheaper in the market, it has few ports of connectivity compared to switch. Switch has up to 60 ports where you can connect computers to. A hub just have like 2 or 4 where you can connect computers to. So it's not so much. It's not so much of. If you have a big network, it's not using a hub. Will not be the best central device. So if you want a very powerful network with a good central device, because a central device determines the power of the star network. So you should replace here with a switch, not a hub. Another device we can use here is a bridge. It's called a bridge. So there are 3 devices we can use when you're using star topology: a hub, a bridge, and a switch. But the best of the options is, I think it's a switch. But the problem with switches, Cisco switches, they are expensive. Not only Cisco, there are other few companies that are manufacturing switches, like the Hawaii company in China is manufacturing switch, and the Cisco company is manufacturing switch. So this the problem with switches is that they're a bit expensive. You have to get money, but they are fast. They give you value for your money that you spend. Okay, so now let's take a look at the benefit, the goodness, and the not so good about the star network. The good and not so good about star network. So one of the things we say is quite expensive to install. You have to buy a lot of cables and the central device. You know, the first 2 we did not buy any central device. We just bought a cable. In this case, we make the cable round, and then it forms a ring network. In the first case, we just in the bus network we just use a straight cable and connect the computer to that straight one. But in the ring one, we make the cable round. But in the star one, you don't have to do that, but you have to buy a central device. These are up to today's networking now. All these old days these ones are getting outdated. The first 2 are getting outdated. So today we're using this star or the hybrid one. Okay, hybrid is like you bring 2 or more things together to give a greater effect. Okay, so for the star, we say it's quite expensive to install or to buy the central device. It's that's a disadvantage. It could be a disadvantage because cost is a disadvantage for business management. And then something we can call the advantage is that it's very fast. The speed, okay, is very fast. Okay, especially when you use a switch here. When you use a switch as your central device, then it's going to give you a very fast Ethernet speed in your office. Very fast Ethernet speed. When you use a switch, it's not a hub, and then you get something value for your money. Okay, so we say it's very fast. This computer has its own cable, which it doesn't need to share. It just has its own cable that goes to the switch, and it doesn't need to share that cable with any other computer or any other device on the network. The another thing is that it can cope with broken cable. So only one computer will be affected. For example, if this cable is broken, only this computer will be affected. This computer that has the cable to the switch. Every other computer is working perfectly fine. Every other computer on the network is working perfectly fine. Only the one whose cable is broken you have to just change. Okay? Every other computer will be working perfectly. So this gives it another relevance. Okay, gives it another advantage over the bus network as it were. Okay, so we say another thing is that we stop working if the central device breaks down. The whole thing is based on the central device, like the brain in human being. Okay, when you look at the nervous system, you talk about the brain and the spinal cord, right, as the central nervous system. So if you model this to be a nervous system, this will be the brain. Okay, and this line, these cables are there, the peripheral nervous part of it. Okay, or the spinal cord. This is the brain, these are the spinal cord. Okay, these cables are the spinal cord, but this is the brain. So if anything happens to this switch or a hub or a bridge, whichever device, central device you're using here. If it breaks down, the whole network will die off. There will be no internet connectivity in your office. So that's the only thing. But not usually these devices don't get spoiled just overnight. 10 years, 20 years, sometimes they can last as long as that. They don't usually have problems, except there's a serious collision or something fall on top of them and they're damaged. But if you keep them properly, they don't usually go bad. They spend some years, 8 years, 10 years, and so on and so forth. Okay? So it's the most common network topology that is used in our working environment. The star topology is the most one, even in your house. For those who are using, let's say, for example, if you're using Unify, that's TM. If you use TM or time for your network company, your internet service provider, when they bring a switch to your house, that modem you see in your body, the modem and a router, they bring a modem and a router to your place. Okay, the switch is the one you call the modem now. It does the work, and all the desktop. You have desktop in your house, you can connect to your switch. Okay, you can connect them directly to your switch. For laptops and phones, they are wireless connection. Just to install with the password, the username and password. Once you get that, and then kalas, you connect it to the network. But if you have a desktop computer, you have to use a cable to bring it to the switch. If you have a desktop computer, you have to use a cable to bring it to the switch before you can get a network. The desktop don't do wireless, okay? You have to use a cable to bring it to the switch. Is that okay? So for your house, if you have desktop computer, I know most homes now they don't use desktop computer, but for some they still do. If you have desktop computer in your home for office work, for schooling, for studying, because the desktops they are more rugged for study. Laptops are for like personal work. Okay? So if you have such things, you must use cable to bring that to your switches. Now we go to the fourth one, which is the hybrid network. The hybrid is we say a hybrid network is simply one that combines two or more other network. Okay? More other basic network. You can take 2-star or 3-star network and you link them together. It becomes hybrid. You can take 2-ring or 3-ring, you link them together, it becomes hybrid. Or you take a ring network, a bus network, and a star network, and you link them together. It will become a hybrid. Hybrid is like you use it this and this. You're mixing things together. You're mixing them. You're no longer sticky with one. You're mixing, you take A and B and C, and you bring them to use together, and it becomes hybrid. Okay? A network that has several star network linked together is hybrid. Okay? So that's for the first part. Okay? For the second part, we will be going to networking hardware. So stay tuned.